Haidong. In this video, we're going to do another footwork drill. In general, when we're talking about stances when we're sparring, it tends to be one of two things, unless you kind of specialize in another. I would like to obviously branch out to hit those specialties, but the major two stances we're going to be using are going to be our walking stance and what I'm going to call the half long stance, which is kind of like an extended walking stance, right? The first set of moving footwork drill that I would like to do is a solo drill. So many of these drills are going to be able to use against a partner. They're going to be even more beneficial when you have a partner, but just kind of getting used to it, right? So again, using one of our two major stances, right? So our walking stance. All I want you to do is just get used to moving in them, right? So if you're not used to walking stance, this might be a little bit weird, but if you are used to it, there are ways for you to get better at it. So if you're here, or if I just do this, so if you're here, again, try to make sure your solar plexus is face forward, hips down, and feet parallel, right? Just push, 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 push. And once you reach the end, push back. So this is a very, very straightforward combination. It's just getting used to moving, that's all it's doing, right? The next level, right, is, again, not super interesting yet, but left foot forward. This, oddly enough, if you're a newbie, you probably have a better chance of doing this than someone who's been training in Gumdo or Kendo for a very long time, because they are trained to have that right foot forward whenever they're in walking stance. So, yeah, yay newbies. Level 3 is alternating, right? So here, activate the front glute to push yourself forward. Front glute, same thing going back. Front, 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 front. So hopefully that's making sense. I just want you to think about engaging the glutes in order for you to use them to push forward and back. Now, this can work for almost all, if not all, of the stances that we're going to be using in our fight, right? So if we have our walking stance, something I'm going to call my half long stance. So long stance is going to be just a deep stance. Half long stance is just a much wider walking or a shorter long. It's kind of like halfway in between. Like this is good, like if I just want to get a little extra oomph in a stab, like if I'm walking stance, push and back, right? So you can do the same drill in a longer stance, right? So push, push, push. It's going to be weirder to go back, right? Because these longer stances are actually better for twisting or drawing back into the other foot, right? But for now, try your luck. So like if you know any other like weird stances that you want to try, literally go down the line, go back the line, just really think about the muscle groups that you're using. Now, as I said, this drill is going to be very good if you have a partner with which to train, right? There's going to be a lot more variance we can do with this. We can mess with tempo a lot more. But until we actually have that filmed, right? So until we do that, one more variant of this very simple drill is to have 2 levels lower. 1 level lower is just to speed it up. Not exciting, that's just kind of how it is, right? So instead of right? Speed it up a little bit. And then, if you want to, you can go into continuous. That's something that Kendo does. It's not something that I necessarily think is going to be helpful for our types of sword fighting. The third layer is going to be something that's going to be the most important, especially when you have a partner, and that's going to be just randomized, right? So it's here. So one version, so kind of like layers, and then there's layers among layers, twirls all the way down. One of them is just going to be just randomize your forward motion, right? Right? Forward and back. But then the layer, the next layer down is going to be randomized forward and back, right? So if you're here, so instead of just here, back, forward. Right? So something like that. As you can probably imagine, the next layer down is to actually use our previous footwork drill and actually go in cardinal directions. So instead of just forward and back, we have our left, we have our right, we have our top left, our back right, our top right, our back left, and we can obviously have an infinity of different angles we can go to. But for now, practice that footwork, really think about your muscle groups and where your weight distribution is. So I guess with that, we'll see you in the next video, but make sure you stay safe, stay humble, and keep training. Haidong.